built an AI that will find 10x trades before they explode, not after they explode. And you can see I have 4 different Claude codes here. So I'm a power user to say the least. Let me show you this tool. All of the code is here. And this is absolutely insane. You've seen tokens blow up in the last couple weeks. Okay. For example, you probably missed Zcash, but now you'll never miss that again. Why? Because we have this agent flow that goes every 4 hours and it can be changed however you want. And I'll give you all the code. It's already on GitHub, actually. So you can see the GitHub link in the description. And I'll show you, let me show you really quickly what it does. It's a set of agents here, and you can see they're all responding. I'm using Open Router, GPT-5 Mini here. I'm using Open Router. I'm using Quen. So that's a Chinese model. I've got Claude here. I've got XAI. I've got DeepSeek and GLM. So we have all of these models essentially looking at the volume in all of the crypto markets. Okay, so this is how you find tokens before they explode, because one of the wisest traders once said, follow the volume. Volume is the amount of trades, the accumulation of all trades in the last 24 hours. If we can watch that every single day for the rest of our lives, you will never miss a big trade. But the problem is you won't follow that every single day for the rest of your life. Why? Because you don't have the time. Unfortunately, nobody has the time to look at the volume every single day. Follow the volume. It's so simple, but you're not going to do it. So you can see I have an AI agent swarm doing that for me. Not only do you get the responses from all the AIs, because I know some people are biased. They say, hey, I only want to listen to Claude, or I only want to listen to Quen, or I only want to listen to DeepSeek. Some people don't want the consensus of all of them. Some people just want each of them. Okay, so you have both. We have the consensus as well. So after it gets all of the recommendations, remember, this AI is simply watching all the volume changes. You can see this little triangle thing means change. 4-hour volume change, 24-hour volume change. It's looking at these rows and making suggestions of, hey, what should you be looking at today? Okay, if you would have had this 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, you probably would have caught Zcash. There's going to be more and more that happen over and over again, and that was a 10x. That's why I said this is an AI to find 10x trades before they explode. So you can see here, it's watching the volume, and then you can see it takes all of their responses and makes a consensus response. The consensus strongly favors Aster for today. Yesterday was something entirely different. It explains why. And then you can see here, GLM actually said MET. XAI said Aster. DeepSeek actually said LTC. Claude said Aster. What did Quen say? He said LTC. And then GPT-5 Mini said Aster. Now, some days it's going to be extreme consensus. Some days it's going to be all over the place. Today, I feel like there's multiple options. But I have this running at all times. So I currently run it every 4 hours. I might change it to 1 hour. I'm not sure. But you can see here, look at this. New token just came into the play of volume. Okay, that's something we need to know as traders. But again, we're not going to sit there every single day and look at the volume. It's just you get distracted. You have other things to do. And like I said, all of this code is here already in the GitHub. So this is magical. It watches all volume all days, every day, and then sends the volume changes and the volume to 5, 6, however many AIs you want, and then gets their response individually. So you can look at them as, hey, okay, I have 6 traders that are always watching volume for me. Prop firms in New York, they have traders that specialize in things like, okay, you're a volume trader. Okay, so now we got 6 of them from our bedroom. And then we have one consensus. But I could have 50 of them. I could have 100 of them. I could have some looking at volume. I could have some looking at VWAP. I could have some looking at capitulations. I could have these agents all specializing. Do you see where I'm going with this? So while I'm showing you volume today, think about what else you can build here. I want to get you all of the code right now. So I told you it's on GitHub. There's a link in the description. If you go to that link in the description, you're going to get to Moondev AI agents. You're going to scroll all the way down, read through the README so you're up to speed, but then all of the code, specifically this one, is in the SRC here, under agents here, and you go scroll down to volume agents, volume agent.py. And this is the code. It's pretty straightforward. We're using Hyperliquid, so it's 100% free. You don't need API keys or anything like that. That's pretty magical. You can see that we get all of the tokens volume. Essentially, how we do that for the technical ones out there is we pull all of the tokens and then we loop through each of those tokens to get their volume, and we build a pandas data frame that will essentially hold all of those tokens and all of their volume, and then it will check against it in 4 hours to see the change. And then it will do the same thing in 24 hours to see the change, because the change in volume tells us everything we need to know. Okay, well, yesterday this didn't have volume and now it does. You can see this is how you calculate the 4 hour and the 24 hour change. All you have to do is go to Moondev AI agent. You can Google it or just go to the description and you have the GitHub. I'm building this. Anything I do with agents, I'm building 100% open source. And I'm doing this because I believe code's a great equalizer. I believe that if I put everything open source, then you can take this to a place that I can never take it to. You can see this is displaying some changes here, the changes on the actual CSV on the terminal, and then it's going to call the AIs once it collects all the data. It's using an AI swarm. So this is actually dependent on one other agent I have. I have an agent swarm, and I'll show you that after this. But essentially, it allows me to call, and like anytime I want to call anything AI, I just call the swarm, and it asks all of those AIs instead of just one AI. So it's pretty powerful. You can see it creates the analysis prompt here. And this is pretty cool because we can all change the prompt. And you can see it says only consider volume acceleration. And I told it not to consider price, but that's something you could do. Maybe you want to consider price. So you can see you can get all the code here. Super easy to run all this, get it pipped or installed into your GitHub, just clone it or whatever. And then you have this magical tool that will find you trades before they explode, because you're supposed to follow the volume, but nobody does it. Nobody does it consistently. That's the thing. I said this was dependent on one other agent. It's the swarm agent. This swarm agent is a plug and play into any system or whatever. And now instead of just calling one AI, you can call as many as you want. All of that code is here in the swarm agent. So you can read through it at your own time. You already have all the code you can see here. I'm calling DeepSeek, XAI, OpenRouter, Quen, Claude. And in order to call other models here, you just unmark this. So for example, if you don't want to spend any money on this system, that's fine. Use Olama. Run it on your computer. That's 100% local and that's 100% free. But you can look through the rest of the GitHub here and see how easy this really is to run. And at the end of the day, you have a tool that no other hand trader has. So if you take the small time here today to chat with AI, how do I get this GitHub from the internet and get this tool running? It's going to be so worth it. I wanted to show you everything. I wanted to show you exactly how to find these trades before they actually explode. And following the volume is one of the best ways. Adding a layer of AI to help sort through that volume and watch it day after day after day, over week after month after year. You know, we can't do that as humans. That's one of those things. So I'm looking for more places to put these, what would you call this? Like it's an easy task to follow the volume, but you have to be very consistent with it and do it every single day. Matter of fact, every single 4 hours. So all of these small things that you have to do consistently that humans have a hard time doing, I'm building agents for, and all of those agents will be in the Moondev AI agents. All you have to go do is click that link in the description or just type in AI agents Moondev on the Google, click star. That will save all the code and fork it if you want the actual code. And then just take a minute and read through this README. There's a few videos that will walk you through all of the GitHub so you fully understand it. But I think this is an absolute game changer. If you want me to dive deeper here and build a bot out for this to trade this live, then just go ahead and let me know in the comments. All right, peace.